That's the signal to begin. Hello, Internet. I hope you're all ready for this today, because this is Fanfiction Contempt Theater 9001. I'm your host, Sneaky Devil, and God save us all!
In honor of the royal wedding, we will be doing exclusively Harry Potter or other British-themed fanfiction tonight. That is a lie. None of us give a shit.
Almost gave me a heart attack.
I didn't even know there was a wedding going on.
The only reason I know is because my mother won't shut the fuck up about it.
You know, always like... So this is Harry Potter times Multicross. I say times Multicross because it only gets worse.
Is a Harry Potter story? I hadn't even looked at it.
Bruh.
Sidewinder, a twisted outsider by the rage addiction. In a time where everything that can go wrong did go wrong, twisting a once honest and kind child into a twisted monster. Repetition of words is a poor way to attract people to read your story. Harry has only a few goals in mind. Goals incomprehensible to humanity. Now he is the outsider, the twisted visage of men. Alternate and revamped version of the original story of Sidewinder, a more darker tale. Multi-crossover harem.
What? Who sent us this trash?
This would be harvested from one of the fanfiction servers that I am on. You can all thank those servers for that. In this story, this is a Jesus Christ. This author's note. In this story, Harry's not the good guy. Good guy. Blah. He is not going to be the Dark Edgelord either.
You made him the outsider. That's already pretty edgy.
He is not a dark Harry. Yeah, no, I did get this from Remy's server. Almost every story with the protagonist being dark just makes the protagonist cynical and Edgar the Edgy. Okay, look, there's a difference between cynical and dark. Like, I'm fairly cynical.
I mean, you're also pretty dark.
Yes.
Come on, bro.
You're not a fantastic example. I would say Max is a good example. Max is fairly cynical without being too dark.
Indeed. This is not dark. This is being a teenager. Oh, sorry, that's not dark, that's being a teenager. I guess. Sneaky isn't dark. Thanks, Sex. I love you too. In this story, everything that could go wrong did go wrong in Harry's life. He wasn't chased and beaten to death by his family. He wasn't manipulated by Dumbledore. It was the death of one person. A massive schism in his life formed. Oh, no! Faceless Porcelain recommended this story. Because he loves this author. Sneaky is only Snark. Indeed. Hello, Birdie.
That is blatantly untrue.
Yeah, sit down, buckle up, and get some magical proton juice ready, because you're going to be needing it. Hermione dies in her first year, and that is how Harry's life turns. Now, if you think about it, why would that matter? In that part of the story, they barely knew one another. But here's the thing. Without Hermione, Harry never learns of the basilisk. And he doesn't have a time turner. In the context of the story, this Harry was molded into a psychopath. You can't become a psychopath. Psychopathic tendencies are genetic. You can become a sociopath. Not a psychopath. He has psychopathic tendencies and traits because I don't know what genetics are. Harry isn't
or how
evil.
Psychology works.
That
Can't
too.
forget that part.
That too. Yep, can't forget that too. He is an evil person. I love how the author is basically like, hey guys, I'm going to be writing a Ruby Harry story in which there's going to be other characters from other games as well, and it's going to be a giant harem for Harry. But instead of like actually leading up to all that with actually a in-depth story about how Harry's life changed due to this one little thing, I'm instead just going to write an author's note telling you about Harry's life so we can skip right into the part that I actually want to write. Because who needs preamble? Am I not wrong here?
I don't have, I'm not saying anything because I agree with you.
Anyway.
No comment.
Blah, blah, blah. He's just a twisted version of himself. I don't want to make a mustache-twirling villain, but instead a twisted human that wishes to do good, but has a very bad way of doing it. That's actually very subjective. Objectively speaking, killing someone who murders someone, in the case of California, would have actually prevented the creation of the MS-13 and Santo 18 gangs. Because California, who refused to do a death penalty on some of their higher tier gang leaders of those small one-street gangs, sent them to prison instead, in which they then recruited a large portion of the prison populations into their gang. And eventually, California decided that that was not allowed because that's bad, and that's making the gangs grow, so they deported those members back to their home countries, in which they then proceeded to grow the gang even further. And now we have two massive-ass gangs who traffic people, drugs, rape, kidnap, torture, cut people's heads off and rape their bodies. It's really lovely gangs because someone along the line said killing people is wrong no matter what they do. So, objectively speaking, it's not a bad way of doing it. But, you know,
Now
that's
that
just...
we've got the armchair philosophy out of the
Look,
way...
man, I have to explain utilitarianism. It's... Oh, yeah, I don't have bots here. I'm sorry, Birdie. The Discord can, though, be found in the panels down below if you want to,
What's this about bots?
Yeah, Birdie did some exclamation point thing, expecting a bot to drop a link, but, no.
Yeah, that requires skill and effort.
No bots
you
here.
Possess neither.
I possess neither skill nor the intelligence to get a bot working. Anyway, yeah, like I said, the Discord links can in fact be found in the panels down below. Big old Discord button, can't miss it.
Well, I mean, you can miss it, but we'll be questioning if you're blind. And that's coming from two partially blind people.
My mouse just died. So, give me one moment. Sneaky possesses a skill to mute the longs. I don't even know what I did to mute links. I just gotta press buttons. Anyway, blah 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 blah. He has Gib and superficial charm, a grandiose sense of self. You're just literally listing tropes of a psychopath. Blah 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 blah. Oh, he's a psychopath. That's why he has a harem. Okay, yeah, sure, author. Blah blah blah. I just wanted to add context to Harry's character because he's going to be super different.
You mean the thing you could have done by writing an actually good story and being a talented author?
I joined classy streams. Yes, I apologize. We're not classy here. We're very primitive with our technology. If you couldn't tell yet,
you see how many followers we have? This here's a small chat.
If you couldn't tell by both the Twitch banner and the stream banner, we are very low tech here.
This hurts so much.
Alright, welcome to the server. Welcome to the server. I can't even get the freaking mute roll working on the Discord server. You know, technology.
We have enough problems. Now, what's funny is you're a network major. You're supposed to be a systems engineer.
Look, Covert still has the picture of when I broke the mail server and made it start displaying text diagonally.
How the fuck did you do that one? Covert, I demand to see this.
Let me see if I can dig it up.
Yeah, I'll drop the I'll drop it into the Discord later on if the Covert can't find it. Hey, Chrysanthemum, welcome back. Despite the fact that this is a fan fiction, and the whole point is to change things, I fucking hate it when authors say that. If you want to read an accurate story with Harry Potter, read the books. Fuck you. This isn't just for the story. This isn't just for this story. This is for any fan fiction, for any writer. Telling them to change a character, telling them that a character is out of character, or the author is intentionally writing them out of character, makes me facepalm. Well, you make me facepalm, sir. You know why you make me facepalm, sir? I'll tell you all why, because he's not gonna fucking listen to me. Can you even do that on purpose? No. I am a master of gremlineering.
His gremlining is so powerful, he can occasionally just send it through the internet.
Indeed. So, I've talked about this a little bit before, but the author has now triggered me, and so now I'm angry and drunk.
Wait, Sneaky. Do me a favor, take a deep breath so that you can rant properly. I said a deep breath, not a shot, you fucking alcoholic.
It's like the same thing.
Somebody clip this fucking problematic child.
Anyway, as I was saying, the purpose of fanfiction, yes, is to change things. Key word there, though, is change things. Not go, hey, you guys know Harry Potter? Boy, sure we do! Okay, well, forget everything about Harry Potter. We're gonna start with a completely separate premise, with characters that don't act anything like the characters that they're based on, or look like, or, you know, everything that makes them those characters. But instead, we're just gonna have some really stupid shit because I'm an incompetent author and I can't write character development. Oh
now,
boy,
fair,
that sounds not like at all like what I wanted. Well, too bad, it's fanfiction. Deal with it.
Sneaky, to be fair, this author could go the route of Inquisitor Caro, where we jump straight into Harry being 100% different.
Okay, yes, that is true. However, the problem there is, that's what you kind of expected coming into it.
But if this is one about Harry being the outsider, it's not unreasonable to expect Harry to be completely different.
That's true enough, but at the same time, though, when it came to Inquisitor Caro, you kind of knew how Space Marines already acted. So you're like, oh, Harry's a Space Marine. I know how Space Marines act. I wonder how Harry as a Space Marine's going to act. You know? It's sort of
we
like,
know how the outsider acts.
Yeah, but he's not the outsider from Dishonored.
See, I was hoping that was where the author was going.
No. There is a likable character. What should we do? We have to kill it. No, evil voice. We should make him unkillable. Yes. Well, Socrates, you make a Socrates, you make a very compelling argument. Wait, somebody miswrote a Space Marine? No! Actually, Inquisitor Caro is a Harry Potter series, a highly amusing Harry Potter series, in which Harry gets sucked into the 40k verse, and the first chapter ends up with him coming back out, post-Space Marining, for like 100-something years.
Like, he's been a proper Space Marine.
And he was written like a Space Marine. It was great.
Like, he shows up and immediately is like, there's not a shrine to the Emperor. This is a problem.
But, Atin does bring up a good good counter argument to me, though. There was no character development there. It was just straight off, oh, he's a space marine. But like I said, you kind of already know what to expect from there, so you don't really need a framework to build into. You know what I mean? Like, you're like, oh, okay.
Right, but
Space
here's the
Marine.
thing. That only works for people like us who know both 40K and Harry Potter. In theory, there's quite a few people who might show up for a Harry Potter crossover because, oh, hey, this title sounds kind of interesting, who knew nothing about 40K.
Okay, not looking to the lore. Okay, looking to the lore. The fuck. I don't know what that's relevant to. I wish the author of Caro did at least a one-shot about the future where the Emperor is aware of magic. Well, he is now.
Oh, he is? That's great. Author, Sneaky, I think what the person in chat is referring to is why is it okay for the person who wrote it, this is the point I was trying to get you to organically.
Right.
Why is it okay for the guy who did Inquisitor Caro to do exactly on the surface, exactly what this author's doing?
Right. I think my main problem comes from the author basically saying, hey guys, there's a bunch of shit that actually develops Harry's character in a different way that you have no basis or understanding or reference for besides the general psychological dictionary for various psychopathic traits. But just trust me, though, that the things that happened to make him like this definitely totally happened, and he totally developed his character like this. Where 40K is more understandable, it's like, oh...
No. We're not going to bring 40K into this. Here's why it's a problem. Okay. With Inquisitor Caro, it opens up with Harry behaving as a proper space marine. It opens up with him getting kicked back to the Harry Potter universe.
Right.
And so we're given a brief insight. The author does a very good job of giving us a brief insight into his character as Inquisitor Caro, who was once Harry Potter. In this, the author is not giving us that. In this, the author is saying, hey, Harry's become a psychopath. Here's why he became a psychopath. But they're doing it in an author's note, not organically in the story.
Yeah, I guess that would be why I would be disgruntled. Yeah, okay. So there is disgruntlement there, and it's because it's an author's note. Yeah. Yeah, no, honestly, sit down and read Inquisitor Caro series if you like Harry Potter. It's actually highly funny. But as I said, this was a rant, not an in-depth intellectual discussion about why the author is wrong and I'm right. This is my opinion.
To an intellectual point.
Yes,
so let's leave it at that.
Yeah. Anyway, I generally and the other thing though is I generally hate psychopathic characters because everyone just writes them like, lol, so random, I'm gonna fucking kill people for justice! Exclamation point. When they need to be written more like Dexter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But next time, just express those thoughts instead of getting angry and
making
it seem like you've set up a double standard.
Just leave me alone.
No, I will force you to be a better person when it comes to explaining yourself. Even if I have to drag you there by the nose. Nose hair's nose, in fact. It's a long and pointy.
Well, he does watch lots of Bo. Yeah, psychopathic characters are actually highly amusing and great in a story when they're done correctly. Unfortunately, a lot of people, like I said, play them as chaotic stupid. I'm crazy, so that must mean I want to kill babies and jump off a bridge. I mean, yeah, maybe, but not usually. Not every single one ever.
In fact, because of the way modern society is set up, there's a lot of psychopaths that are not consciously aware they are psychopaths.
Yeah, high-functioning psychopathy.
Like, first of all, I want to say that's an amazing mark for society. We have psychopaths who aren't aware they're psychopaths, which does wonders for keeping, like, murder rates down.
I just can't stay in the head of the psychopath of the protag. I just can't. I mean, yeah, it's understandable. It's understandable, yeah. Psychopath should be more true neutral than chaotic evil. Well, it could be chaotic good, evil or chaotic good, but it's better to have them in the gray. Well, I mean, true neutral would apply more to a psychopath than anything else from their point of view, because it's typically they are not really invested in other people. They have their own ideas. If you would look at an actions of a psychopath from the average person, there would likely be chaotic evil. But a psychopath would typically look at their own actions as just doing what needs to be done. So actually lawful good. We're two grammatical problems in 2 sentences? Oh yeah, this is the normal. Welcome to fanfiction.
Oh, you have seen nothing.
I mean, yeah, there are quite a few. The self-awareness in sociopaths and psychopaths is actually quite high. So yes, they could certainly consider themselves a necessary evil.
The point is, they are not lol so random, I'm gonna eat a baby. That's the point.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, we're talking in circles here. Let's just get right on into the garbage. The moonlight, for some reason capitalized, in the midnight sky, leered.
I'm sorry, what is the moonlight doing?
The moonlight is leering.
The moonlight's trying to seduce me? That's what's going on here?
The moonlight makes sexual advances on you. Roll for wisdom.
Hold on. Ah, fuck you, 18. I am perfectly fine.
You decide not to sex the moonlight. It's a wise choice.
You might have gotten moonitis.
Towards the Scotland countryside. I'm pretty sure there needs to be a hyphen in there somewhere. Its piercing and unyielding light illuminating the vast, imposing castle. Now all I can think of is the freaking spells from Dark Souls. The beams of light that crash down.
Oh, divine something or the other?
Yeah. The trees surrounding the castle were curved and twisted.
Divine Wrath, that's it. It's Divine Wrath, isn't it?
Something like that. The castle were curved and twisted, showing a mocking imitation of decaying insects and animals. Look, I am no expert, or what's the term? Arbologist? But I'm fairly certain no matter how much a tree curves and twists, it's not gonna look like a fucking bug or an animal.
I mean, like, okay, if it was like a super, super dark night and you were terrified, maybe it would look like a giant spider or something.
I mean, maybe, but at that point in that forest, it probably is a giant spider.
Which is what you should actually be scared of.
I don't get this metaphor at all. Yeah, I don't think any of us do. But they're also decaying insects, so I really don't understand. Like
a giant decaying insect, that's awful specific for a tree, buddy.
There was silence in the night, not a chirp of a cricket or the loud cry of crows, all creating a foreboding stillness which permeated through the area. 3 adults entered a dark and dank bathroom. It's like the start of a fucking porno.
Yeah, it was a dark and stormy night. 3 people were trapped in a bathroom.
He had a long white beard and similarly colored hair, wearing half-moon crescent glasses. He wore a long gray robe. Oh, I'm so glad we're introducing characters everyone in the audience should know by meticulously describing every aspect of their clothing. Like with Dumbledore, you can at least get away with going like, he was wearing purple robes with moving pink cats riding broomsticks! Because he's silly like that. You can get away with that. But Dumbledore, okay, so he's got a white beard, he's got the fucking cap and things, and the half-moon glasses. You know what I mean, you know? I'm not the only one here who's
no,
like...
I mean, I hear you.
Yeah.
I mean, look, we've had this rant a million times.
I know. At either of his sides were both Minerva and Snape.
Either of his sides. What? Does
So
he have
he
like
has
4
two?
sides? Did Dumbledore become a polyhedron?
What does that mean? Either of his sides?
Yeah, by either of his sides there was both Minerva and Snape, which means there's a Minerva and Snape on each side of him
At the same time.
at the same time.
Wow, this story's getting meta.
This
Like,
story is getting
Okay,
meta.
so they've learned how to do shadow clones. Good to know.
With a wave of his wand, Dumbledore forcefully overpowered the charms on the sink. Oh, this is year 2. Creating a sound of grinding stone. Slowly the sink rose, revealing a dark stairway leading down towards only darkness. There were no words between the three, as Dumbledore took a lead and entered the decrepit stairway. Following him were both Snape and Minerva. As the three entered the secret entrance, as opposed to leaving, a pair of bright blue eyes tense error. A pair of bright blue eyes watching
And
them
not
from
the
the
first
shadows.
one.
This doesn't even make any fucking sense. A pair of bright blue eyes watching them from the shadows. That's a sentence fragment, right? I'm not crazy about that.
No, I think it's technically okay. I don't think it's a sentence
I
fragment.
don't think that's proper sentence.
Seems okay for me.
I
got
think you're
D's
just
in
crazy.
English, so.
And someone assist me here, and Birdie or Socrates, since you two seem to know a lot more about how to understand English than I do.
I'm
Yeah,
confused. How do
okay,
you
that's
think it's
wrong. All right, we have viewer declaration. It is wrong.
It's Twitch chat. The viewers are always wrong.
Fake
Yeah.
sentence. This is a fake sentence.
Oh God, here we go.
There was a light, watery chuckle from the shadow before it vanished. Watching makes this wrong. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. The tense just ruined it, yeah. Okay, I'm really confused here. So this is blue eyes. What the fuck
White
is-
Dragon.
Who has blue eyes in Harry Potter?
Didn't McGonagall?
No, McGonagall. Okay. McGonagall walked down there with them, so she couldn't be also
Right,
watching
she
them.
can't be watching them. What? But then again, there's already 2 McGonagalls. Why can't there be a third?
Indeed. Oh, good. Zex has already clipped me.
Which clip?
I don't know yet. I'll watch it afterwards, maybe.
If
Maybe
you're
right
so...
now.
No, I will force you to be a...
Oh, it's the I'll force you to be a better person part.
Oh, that one.
Clipperino, indeed. Walking down a long, serpent-like hallway, only dimly illuminated by the half-lit wall-mounted lanterns, were 3 grown wizards, as opposed to 3 baby wizards. Dumbledore's eyes scanned around, the cracking of bones on the ground, shattering, echoing.
Wait, what?
Cracking of bones on the ground, shattering, echoing. I think it's because he has an extra verb in there.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's because of the extra verb. Through the chamber. After minutes of walking through the long and twisting.
Is that... No, the sentence can't end there. It cannot. That's not a sentence.
They began to come across horrid things. The dissected and dismembered corpses of creatures, cut up corpses of acromantula, of werewolves, threstrels, trolls, merpeople, ghouls, and imps. What horrified Minerva, however, were two corpses. One was one of the most gallant creatures in the world, a unicorn, and near it was a centaur. Alrighty, bye-bye, birdie.
Goodbye.
Dumbledore sent his eyeballs out through the bones, indeed. They all seemed to be taken apart, studied, gutted, and left to rot afterwards. Their hearts, glands, organs... organs includes the previous two. Claws,
if someone's
horns,
going
and
to the
everything in
trouble of, like,
between were
capturing and
removed.
dissecting all these creatures, you'd think they'd do it in a more sanitary environment.
I mean, not even that. Just fucking burn the corpses after. Jesus Christ. All the corpses, the smell they created, the pure wound they created in...
The what?
The wound they created in magic. Fucking Christ, is this some Warhammer shit going on here? Dumbledore felt.
These beasts have created a foul hole in the warp.
Indeed. Dumbledore felt and absorbed it all through all of his senses. What the fuck? So he's eating them? He's licking the corpses?
Aye, he's tasting every bone, boy.
I must taste the taint!
Don't. Remember, Dumbledore's gay. Don't go having him shout that.
No, Dumbledore clearly shouts that. The point here is the author seems to be okay with artistically expressing himself. He just utterly fails to communicate anything through language. I can almost see proper paragraphs, except that they aren't. I mean, yeah. I'm not gonna toot my horn and say I'm good at that either. To be fair,
Because you're not.
I'm not. I will never say I'm good at that shit. I fucking am surprised that my story even has as many views as it does, let alone favorites and follows. But it's not this bad. I can say that. Probably.
I would agree with that statement.
Shut up! Wait, hold on. It was a compound of all that is unclean, uncanny, unwelcome. I got a thesaurus and I really want to show off how smart I am. It was a...
Please don't.
I am continuing to thesaurus a bunch of words to make a sentence. And he doubted he would ever forget how much thesaurus was occurring. Slowly, the
It's
trio
a word
arrived.
salad.
Indeed. Slowly, the trio... needs a comma
I
there.
apologize for singing.
The trio arrived at the end of the tunnel, only to enter a wide room. Only to enter. That's not a good... That's a poor wording of the sentence. More like, slowly, comma, the trio ended at the end of the tunnel, which led out into a wide room. You know. The statues of serpents lining the walls of the room, the statue of Salazar Slytherin on the farthest part of the room. This is a cringy way to describe a room, and you really shouldn't do it. In the center of the room, however, what was grabbed their attention, even though their attention was going everywhere else first. It was grabbed by what was center in the room. In the center of the room, there was a young man with a messy, inky black hair. His back was towards them, with his body leaning forward over an operating table, sort of like that BioShock scene in BioShock 1. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Haven't your parents taught you it's rude to sneak up on someone? It's not really sneaking up on you if you knew they're there.
Yeah, and like they're stepping on a bunch of bones. Like they're not trying to be quiet here, Harry.
Oh, Zix watched me sing Jingle Jangle Jingle earlier when I was shooting Tyranids. In Warhammer.
Well, I missed that.
Yep, you missed it. Dumbledore almost recoiled at the young man's appearance. The young man had inky black hair. We already talked about his hair color. Thank you very much, author. And very pale skin, creating a striking contrast. He had dark green eyes, which were slitted like a serpent, because fuck it, why not? He had a smile on his face, revealing fang-like canines, because fuck it, why not? He wore a white dress shirt, which was stained in blood, and black pants. So he's basically a vampire with green eyes that are slitted. Got it. Aristocratic vampire. Keep that in mind, everyone, for your mental image of what this Harry looks like, because the author is incapable of expressing such opinions that are... why do we have so many bots in our...
How many bots do we have?
I mean, I don't want to call people bots, but we have a lot of people by the same...
Oh my god, what the hell?
With blank profile pictures and
We got a
similar
lot of
naming
W's
schemes.
in here.
A lot of V's and W's.
Not that we're like...
I mean, not that I'm complaining, but Twitch isn't saying they're people, so I mean, bring it up with Twitch, my dudes. Dumbledore almost recoiled at his apparent blood. Harry! Dumbledore started in shock. Hell! Came the forced and painful breaths. Pained breaths, not painful, my dude. Of the person on the operating table. Harry stared at the three wizards before he pulled out a unique silver object from his pocket. Before he held it by
Oh
one
my
end
god,
and-
Sneaky, before you do this, turn on the edgy banner right
Oh,
now.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Just
I'm
turn it
sorry,
on
the
and
what?
trust me.
It's just, there we go. There's the edge banner.
You'll
Behold,
see why.
the banner of Edge! Now, please do turn away and do not look this story directly in the eyes, or you might be forever permanently cursed, having witnessed indescribable levels of Edge. Do not worry, though. I shall make the valiant sacrifice for you, so you may learn the contents. Before he held it by one end and flipped it around several times, with a blade being shown at one end, revealing he was holding a butterfly knife. Before the wizards could react, Harry impaled the person on the table through the eye in his brain. With a sigh, Harry ripped the blade back out of the person's eye. The three wizards were completely stunned. Hell, Snape was frozen too! That Edge could cut Diamond. I told Crab, be quiet. Or was he Goyle? That's not even how you spell the right Crab. It's Crabbe. Harry asked out loud as he narrowed his eyes almost shut, and a wicked smile stretched across his face. I always get the two mixed up, he commented lightly.
I'm not going to have an edgelord, but he has a butterfly knife and will stab people randomly while dissecting a person.
This is just... Oh, Jesus Christ. This is so fucking cringy. Yeah. Arthur, what are you doing, man? Arthur, what are you doing? Anyhow. Let's just... Jesus Christ. Harry, I'm almost a century in age, but I'm seldom at a loss for words. Dumbledore muttered in horror. Really? Because of him? Harry asked incredulously as he pointed at the corpse behind him. Then I'd hate to see what you think about how you would react to Underbridge, or whatever her name was. Oh, glad we got that joke in there, Arthur. He said, waving his hand off to the side. She was bloody annoying, he admitted. Anyway, if you would be so kind, would you all get out? Harry said, doing a shooing motion towards the stunned adults. Again, this isn't psychopathy. This is just chaotic stupid. This is just really chaotic stupid. Dumbledore took staggered steps forward towards the young boy. Tell me, please, why? Stop. You need help. Why did you kill him? Why did you cut him up? Gut all these creatures! Please tell me. He almost begged, looking broken. As he looked at the boy as he watched grow up, now seemed like some form of a twisted reminder of Voldemort. Harry pursed his lips a bit before he walked around the autopsy table, loomed over the corpse. Jesus Christ, Arthur. I wished to understand and learn, he admitted uncaringly. Uncaring is sociopathy. Psychopaths are actually quite passionate about what they do care about. So if you're going to have Harry set up to be a psychopath, quote unquote, air quotes, heavy air quotes intensify, then he would be quite passionate about his pursuit of knowledge and learning. Not uncaring.
Also, it seems like he's dissecting people to try to learn about why people die. I have a massive issue with it, because here's the thing. If this was... 1 second.
Excellent. Well done, Atin. I completely agree with your thesis.
What I was saying was, if it was any other... If it was like a wizard who had been like sheltered and raised by normal wizards their entire life, I could understand them being like, I want to learn about people, so I cut him up. But this is Harry Potter. He went to... He spent, what, at least 8 years of his life going to normal school?
Yeah.
Like, he may not know about medical sciences, but, like, he understands medicine. He understands that people have already done all this.
He lives in a modern era.
Yeah. Like, and more importantly, he's aware that he lives in the modern era. He could read a book. And he knows that he could read.
Chrysanthemum.
And especially, here's the thing: if he's a psychopath, or as this is being portrayed, a sociopath, regardless of whichever he is, if he was truly after the pursuit of knowledge, he would get that knowledge with the least amount of fuss possible. You know what causes a lot of fuss? Kidnapping people and cutting them apart. You know what doesn't? Going to the local library with your fucking library card and reading an anatomy book.
Chrysanthemum says, I thought they reclassified that all under antisocial personality disorders or something. No. Psychopathy and sociopathy are quite very distinct, antisocial personality disorders, but they are very distinct in the kind of traits that they display. Sociopaths are very impulsive. Psychopaths are methodical. They plan. They're very slow in terms of execution over time. Sociopaths are like, oh, I want to kill someone. They go out and grab a gun. They shoot people. While obviously an extreme example, that's the sort of planning a sociopath does. A psychopath would be like, okay, I want to kill this person. First, I'm going to learn their schedule. Then I'm going to find a good time when they're alone. Alright, how do I dispose of the body? Like, again, Dexter is a very good example of a psychopath.
Yeah, he does not do anything off of impulse.
Like, he plans everything out. He does it all in the name of justice. He's a serial killer who kills other killers. You know, it's not impulsive. Sociopaths fit more into the realm of chaotic stupid. And sociopaths are created socially. Sociopaths are normal people who had abnormal circumstances when they were being raised, which ended up with them being the way they are now. Psychopaths is a genetic thing that can be passed from, parents to children genetically.
Well, don't forget, it can also, in very rare circumstances, be caused by brain damage.
Well, yes, it can also be caused by brain damage because it is a brain-centric thing.
I'm aware. I needed to put that in there.
Now, however, you don't become a psychopath by having a hard life.
No. Sociopaths, sure.
But, there are very distinct things, and you can't lump them together because they are basically polar opposites of each other, but they're still the same coin of antisocial personality. Okay, is Zexel gonna educate us on the biologies? What do the Russians say, Zexel? Dexter did become a psychopath after traumatic events. Okay, yes, but it is still a genetic thing. It's what it's called high functioning. Basically, it's people that are capable of being completely normal until...
It's definitely genetic. Him and his brother were both crazy.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert on a 9-year-old show?
A 9-year-old show for the first season, yeah. Spoiler alert.
But yeah, no, it's... Yeah. Traumatic events can trigger it, can make your thinking change. However, you don't just wake up one day. I mean, you don't do that either for sociopathy, but they're very different. We have many years of study behind them. One's genetic, one is not. Yeah, moving on to more chaotic stupid. Blah blah blah, all these people die, blah blah blah. Blah 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 blah. Oh my, woe is me. All these people are dying. I hate this weakness we all seem to share of death. Not a weakness. Death is not a weakness. Death is death. You die when you're dead.
People die when they're killed!
Thank you, Shiro.
No problem.
I despise it. I despise those who have that. I despise people who die when they're killed. He said at the top of his lungs, brandishing a butterfly knife at wizards.
I see no problems here.
Harry said with a wicked snarl. Wait, wicked as in British wicked or wicked as in English wicked?
I assume they mean
wicked.
English wicked.
So I'm shedding my shackles and I gave myself eternal youth. I will live forever, and I have become unstoppable. No one I care about will suffer the fates my family has gone through, he informed.
Great. He made some Horcruxes.
Wake me up inside. You're bloody mad, Snape stated. Harry shrugged. Sure I am. What's your point? He responded. I have a vision. Through the deaths of all these...
he's had a vision.
Oh, he had a vision. Through the death of all these creatures here, of all the people I've studied and learned from.
Okay, great, wonderful. I can summarize this. It's a shitty version of Full Metal Alchemist. I'll kill a bunch of people to get immortal life. Got it.
Really? Yeah, okay, yeah, yep. Okay, yep, okay. Okay, so yep, he's creating bullshit
He's even
magic.
doing it for the same stupid reasons. To acquire every possible... Jesus fuck.
I will
Lazy
become the
motherfucker.
ultimate being. Blah, blah, blah. What do we do? What will you do?
I'll be right back. I'm getting my pizza.
The truth is, I knew you were coming. Resourceful shadow. You gave me a heads up. Pair of blue eyes illuminated his shadow. You gave me enough time to get everything set up. Inside his mouth was a swirling black vortex with a ridge of blue energy. Oh wow! Harry gave himself Gluttony's power from Full Metal Alchemist. No one saw that coming. Albus, Harry, please don't try and stop me, Dumbledore. You who told me that power is forged from the desire of our hearts. That I am an outsider, a stranger in this century and among those who are still men, blah 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 blah, evil speech, blah 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 blah, pointless background
I'm back.
information on a pointless blah blah blah. Yeah, he gave a evil speech about how he was become the ultimate being, and then he used Gluttony's power to eat Snape and Minerva.
Great, so I was right. This is just ripping off fucking Full Metal Alchemist. Lazy piece of shit.
I was just kidding. It didn't actually do that. It's just a portal. But still,
Well.
And then the author proceeds to give some really stupid bullshit ripped off of every other fantasy out there ever without any originality to it. Background information about how Harry Potter ends up outside of space and time and can now view them all. And then he becomes the... He becomes the outsider. Does he? He needed to achieve perfections, blah blah. What will you do? Okay, yeah, it looks like he becomes the outsider from Dishonored. No. He meets the outsider from Dishonored? This is really weird. The entity that lives in the bullshit fantasy dimension granted information and understanding to 12 creatures, 5 of which belong on Earth and 3 of which can be considered men. And then Harry was transported to this perspective of reality. He held physical perfection and spiritual perfection. He had such spanning power, such a status to defeat his ultimate enemy. His ambition was to become the ultimate being because of what he learned about reality. So he's going to be super meta? I don't even understand what the fuck is going on anymore. And
This
now,
is just fucking stupid.
And now he is. The author did the location thing wrong. It's supposed to be the place and then the planet. He did it the other way around. Now it looks like Forever Falls the planet. Anyway, miles away was a spanning train track. Tall man, blah blah blah. It's Adam. Sound of air, teleportation, blah blah. Looked at something, blah blah. Atlesian gunship. Huntsman in a gunship. White Fang, blah blah, blah blah. I know exactly what I did. Unfortunately, for your White Fang act of heroism is unappreciated. The head of Schnee family has hired me to kill you. Oh boy. It's Harry! Adam narrowed his eyes behind his mask as he scanned the huntsman. He pulled up a black hood to cover his, that seemed to cover, wait. The huntsman seemed to pull up a black hood and covered his face, revealing the hood had an iron helm at the front.
I don't see a problem here. Absolutely no problems whatsoever. Carry on.
Fucking what? The Mad Hunter. I've heard of you. To think they would send a monster to kill me. The Mad Hunter. I never liked that name. I'm James. Not that you'll live long enough to remember it. The Mad Hunter admitted as he grasped the hilt of the long sword with both hands and then extended the weapon, causing the small hilt to open up into a long metal pole with the sword turning at an angle, forming a war pick. It's got a scythe, lovely. Yay. Kill them. And they all shot bullets at Adam, and Adam blocked all the bullets with his sword. But he still got hit because he couldn't block all the bullets.
But he did block all the bullets.
But don't worry, because apparently they're just shooting BBs at him. Because small bursts of blood burst from his legs and arms as metal projectiles tore through his clothing and skin. So, you know, even though he's being shot by guns of fairly high caliber, I would assume, if they're being used in a automatic military rifle, getting shot several times in the arms and legs with a automatic military rifle, I would assume would do a little bit more to a body than, not anything at all, really. You know what I'm saying? Am I not crazy here?
I don't know, something aura bullshit or whatever.
Well, no, see, that's the problem, though, because the aura's supposed to stop the bullet, but the
bullet is still hurting.
Yeah. The author is saying that the bullet is tearing through his skin. So it's going through the aura, if he has any.
Or, and this is just a possibility, the author's fucking dumb.
You are correct. It's entirely possible the author knows jack shit about basically everything in existence, and it's entirely possible that his incompetence knows no bounds. Now, I normally don't like slapping authors with that sort of label, but,
I disagree. You use that label pretty liberally. Not that it isn't warranted, but you use it pretty liberally.
I mean, like I said, I don't like using it, but I'm usually not wrong. when it comes to calling the authors incompetent morons who didn't do any research about anything that they're writing about. I will admit to talking at my ass most of the time, though. As the gun wielders pulled back, the baton-wielding soldiers charged forward all at once and attacked. Why? Why didn't they just keep shooting at him?
I was gonna say, the bullets are working. Just keep shooting him. Even if you have like a take him alive order, this is like a tier 1 criminal. Take him alive is always couched as a suggestion.
Yeah.
Like, if you can take him alive, take him alive. But really, y'all should just shoot him.
Yeah, it's just... As the gun wielders pulled back, blah blah blah, Adam blocked the strikes, which electrified the blade, only for him to grimace in pain as the baton hit him in the back. Rag! As he turned and snapped and slashed at the exposed neck of a soldier, and then pivoted to impale another man through the chest. Now, you see, these casualties wouldn't be happening if you just kept shooting him. He ripped the blade out of the soldier and cut 2 more down. And he's just cutting more people down. He's decapitating people with single swipes. And he just did a twirl, and now everyone's decapitated. The Mad Hunter looked at Adam before motioning to the rest of the troops. Don't just stand there, shoot him. A second hail of bullets erupted again, only for Adam to vanish in a ninja flicker. One of the gun wielders released a gasp of shock and pain as he was stabbed in the back. Nothing personal, kid. Adam pulled the soldier close to him as he used her body as a shield to take the brunt of the bullets. I love how the character managed to pull out a power that he didn't have literally 3 seconds ago. To make sure that the rule of cool is continuously established. I mean, I hated when Ruby did that shit. I'm gonna fucking hate it when you do that shit. Especially because it's not even like, oh man, that's so awesome. It's just like, this is dumb. Rule of cool is only good when it's, like, cool. Right? I'm not crazy? I'm not alone here?
Something, something, something. I'm an edgy dumbass. Something, something, something. I didn't want to write an edgelord, but I totally wrote 17 edgelords.
I didn't want to write an edgelord story, guys. So this isn't an edgy story. This is just teenagers being teenagers. That's not edgy. Okay.
Huh.
Blah, blah, blah. He pulled his blade out of the soldier and narrowed his eyes when a red crystal...
Anyway, so to everyone who's watching the show right now, this is dumb.
Yeah.
This author's dumb.
Yeah.
And I recommend going to watch Navi versus Tongfu from the International so you can see some sick fountain hooks.
Fuck
because
you.
that will at least be entertaining compared to this bullshit.
Fuck you. Don't listen to him. Keep watching this bullshit.
I didn't say it was your fault it was boring. I said this author's a piece of shit and a hack.
I mean, yes, that is true. Anyway, so blah, 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 dumb shit, blah, 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 rule of cool. Blah, 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 another faunus. Blah, blah. Blah, blah, me. Oh, wait. The Mad Hunter is an original character. I think, maybe. Or is he from Bloodborne? He might be from Bloodborne now that I think about it. Is there anyone in Bloodborne who has a sword that turns into a war pick?
A war pick?
Atin?
No.
Why do we have so many bots viewing us?
How can you tell they're bots?
Well, I mean, I have a massive viewer list right now, and this is actually kind of
Holy
intimidating.
fuck.
Atin, are you gonna... Atin? Atin. Alright. Good. We've lost Atin. Just in time. Good job, Atin.
No,
Everyone give him a round of applause. Alright, so Edgy McEdge says edgy things. Okay, so Harry's got some vampire canines and a long tongue like Orochimaru. Still wearing aristocratic vampire clothing. Cute, kill them. There's a faint crack, and Harry was standing in front of the soldiers, and he put his hand on the leader's chest. Kor Maroth, Eclipse Shadow. I'm pretty sure this is Lord of the Rings language. I mean, if only we had someone who knew a lot about Lord of the Rings here in our little podcasting session. Cough, cough, you son of a bitch.
Where did he go?
I don't fucking know. Fucking piece of shit thing. Probably still talking and thinking he's muted, not realizing he's muted or something. Sneaky, this is the opposite of my story, literally. I would actually like to hear how this story is the opposite of mine. I mean, like, mine's not that great, but I mean, it's a little bit better than this, I think. What's going on? An Eldritch rune was growing bright on him. And then the rune darkened, and then blah blah blah, distortion of gravity, and he turned into a micro black hole. Really? He just turned into a micro black hole. Okay. Wait, story insertion, lots of unnecessary powers, and a harem. That's a fair point. Mine was a very early story insertion. Basically no powers and not a harem. Alright, I'll give you that. Kill me, he looked at the guy, blah blah blah, you White Fang are all the same. You're all trapped in darkness, and it just takes a willing combatant to enlighten you. Harry continued to smile. Darkness? When everything that you know and love is taken away from you so harshly, all you can think about is anger, hatred, and revenge, and no one can save you.
Oh my god, I went to the bathroom and this is what I come back to?
Yes! Alright, so Harry, apparently, the Mad Hunter isn't Harry Potter. The Mad Hunter is a completely random OC that may or may not be from Bloodborne.
Okay.
Is there anyone in Bloodborne that uses a war pick and a longsword?
I still don't know what a war pick is. But there is somebody that uses a longsword.
A war pick is like a scythe, but it's basically someone thought, hey, pickaxes are really sharp and pointy and good at punching things and good at breaking things. What if I took a pickaxe and I used it to stab people in armor? That's basically it.
Yep. Anyway, so is anyone in
But no,
Bloodborne
I don't
do
think
that?
there's anyone who uses like a pick long sword.
Alright, so
thing.
it looks like this is a Bloodborne OC. And yeah, so Harry shows up, turns one of the Atlesians into a micro black hole using Kor Maroth. I'm pretty sure that's some bastardization of Lord of the Rings languages.
I don't know. Oh yeah, so a war pick is basically a normal pickaxe head. So basically, take a warhammer and flip it the other way. The pick is the part you swing with the most, and the hammerhead is the side you use the least. That's really all it is.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, so edgy speech occurs from Harry, and Adam Taurus is interested in Harry now, probably sexually if this story is any indication. Blah blah blah, bigger edgy speech, blah blah blah. And he pulled his eyelid down and stuck his tongue out. Chaotic stupid. You know what I'm saying, you know? It's fucking chaotic stupid.
That's not even chaotic stupid. That's just stupid.
I'll give you that. Yeah. Let's see. Blah 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 blah. Enough talk. Try and stab Harry. Blah blah. Lunge to attack him. Fuyu ko. What language is he shouting these bullshit, stupid shit things in?
I have no idea.
No, Max could probably tell us. Holy fuck, the amount of bots. Yeah. Yeah.
We still don't know where they all came from.
I mean, like, again, I don't want to go around calling people bots, but we have a whole lot of silent-ass people.
And more importantly, we don't know where they're coming from.
They're just flooding in. It's a tide of unstoppable people. Anyway, blah, blah, blah,
So,
shooting him in the
we're just
knee.
gonna put this out there. If you're a real person, do us a favor and sound off in the chat.
That would be great. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. He got shot. He brandishes a silver revolver. Oh no! Harry shouts loudly as he released the huntsman and lunged back and crouched down as several loud bangs came from the gun. Oh wow, it's a Rudy Tooty Short and Pooty. I perfected that. Good job, brain. He chuckled as he retracted his tongue, reveling in the trill of life and death situations, loving how he toyed with his prey. I don't know what a semblance is, but I have a lot more abilities. I don't care what you do. 1,000 people have died. Jesus Christ, is this a fucking edge off?
I mean, probably.
1,000 have fallen to my blade, and you are no exception. Who knows the end? What has risen my sink, and what has sunk my rise? What? Harry responded casually. And they charged at each other, and they're fighting again with black holes. And then the ice was eating the other guy. I guess he couldn't hold himself together. Okay, so he killed the guy with ice and black holes.
Great.
I second that. What? Yeah, just... I don't even know what the fuck is happening anymore. Hello, Durs. Risen my sink and sunk my rise. Yeah, authors trying to be edgy, man. You know how it is. They can't succeed at anything.
And what's strange is they were doing such a good job of being edgy before.
Suck my rise. There were two loud, wet, slapping sounds as the pieces of the Mad Hunter collapsed to the ground. You don't look so well. Do you have any medical facilities? Can you get there? No, I can't get there. I am preventing you from bleeding out. Why am I telling you these things? It's because I'm channeling my magic into your body, which makes me your friend. So you spiritually don't see me as an enemy. What? Is this a Harry Potter Ruby Cross? Oh, yeah. For everyone who is just joining us, this is a Harry Potter times Ruby times Bleach times Naruto times Bloodborne times probably several other things that we haven't even hit yet. Fanfiction in which Harry Potter is a psychopath, quote unquote, who is chaotic stupid, wants to become immortal by creating the Philosopher's Stone, but needs Pikachu to do so.
I'd watch that.
Out.
From an author who has a 30k word story but still can't English. I mean, doing the wrong thing a bunch of times doesn't make you better at doing the right thing. 10 out of 10 summary. Thank you. Thank you. I trust a faunus. What's a faunus? You're a faunus. Okay. Sorry for being ignorant about that. Those guys, what was their problem? Stupid humans, they always take everything from us. Our enslavement recently ended. They keep and hoard dust. Blah, 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 blah. Edgy. Wow, the fauna sure have it bad. Yep, we have it bad. That's why we made a terrorism group to show humanity we're strong. I like your idea of showing humanity how strong you are by being monsters. That'll teach them. Anyway, blah blah blah, I'm not so sure anymore. My partner, she understood, or I thought she did. Blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. She turned on us. Blah blah blah. Why did she leave? I thought I could sport the faunus. I thought I could sport the white fang. That I could be the monster they needed. But now I can't. No one's holding you up. I'll hold you up, baby. Alright, okay. Let's be best friends. Okay, I love your ambition. We're best friends now. My name's Adam Tars. You can call me Harry Black. Welcome to the White Fang, Harry. Chaotic Stupid, I'm now adding that to my D&D campaign. You're welcome. It's good to hear you keep an eye on all the writing streams. I specifically add to myself to that community for this specific reason of just like, holy shit, guys, please be better. I want better stories.
That was the whole reason we started this stupid show.
The whole point of the show was originally be like, yo, hey, this is how you write better. And now it just turned into, hey guys, please don't do the following. This has turned into the XCOM list of things people are no longer allowed to do.
And the many qualifications that go with that list.
Where the fuck is my shot glass? Oh, there it is. Oh yeah, Naruto. Forgot about Naruto was in this.
Oh god, it's gonna get worse.
Oh yeah, it's gonna get worse. Weeks later, Shinobi Realm, the desolate battlefield, remnants of the Fourth Great Shinobi War. Blah blah blah. A man laid on the battlefield. He had blood coming out of him. He stared at the sky with Sharingan eyes. Madara laid there, betrayed by what he believed to be his will, Zetsu. Didn't Zetsu eat him? Anyway, blah blah
Maybe,
blah.
probably.
Everything was going black, blah blah blah. He heard footsteps. Rise and shine, my friend. Rise and shine. He finished as a young man wearing dark attire stood over Madara's body. His inky black hair was compared to Madara's own. Blah blah, my oh my, the great Madara Uchiha, I've heard so much about you. Are you the Shinigami? Nope, I'm not the Grim Reaper, I'm a human. You're probably confused, being this black abyss I pulled you into. I simply stopped the passage of time. Simply. I'm Harry, you don't know me, but I know you. He put his hand on Madara's chest, blah blah blah, blah blah blah, and that makes us connected, blah blah blah, speech, 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 really cringy speech. Harry, you have the charisma of a pus-ridden donkey. Blah blah blah. Author, you can't write speeches. Holy shit, that's a fuckload of ellipses. And I use ellipses, and I'm saying it's a fuckload of ellipses. Oh, I hate to break it to you, Desi, but Zetsu was two parts. One part was the white Zetsu, which was just a generic clone made out of Hiroshima cells. And the other part was black Zetsu, which was the will of the Kaguya-yan, the ultimate super mega boss 9000, who was trapped in the moon. Insert ellipses rant here. Yes, indeed. Being in the city reminded Mohamaru why all the transfer students from Reach secondary schools had been so edgy. Everything in Reach was edgy. Even the edges were edgy. Somehow reminds me of this quote. Blah blah. Madara, what if I told you I know how to create world peace? What if I told you I had the power and knowledge to bring your dream to fruition? I would laugh at the child holding a secret. I guess I'm a comedian then. I have information that can let you blah blah blah. I'm saving you, Madara. I'm gonna place restriction seals on your body. I'm sealing back your DNA again. The wood release and your eternal Mageko Sharingan again, but not permanently. They'll only unseal the moment I give you permission. Jesus Christ. This is just bad. Like, we've moved from, like, oh god, this is cringy, this sucks, to just, this is just bad. It's not enjoyable. It's poorly written. The characters are meat puppets for the author, in which it's just like, oh, I'm gonna shove
Not even
my hand
particularly
up
well
that
written
ass.
ones
I'm
either.
gonna shove my hand up this guy's ass and oh wow, you're so magical and shit. Wow, I totally agree with you. Thanks for saving me, Harry. I'll go save the world now. Yes, I've given you all this power. Oh, by the way, I'm gonna seal you up just so I can be edgier and make a big entrance and where I tell you, oh, you can go full release level 0. And then you explode with power and beat the good guys. Oh wow, that sounds really edgy and cool. Oh, yes, Madara becomes Alucard. He is now Aradama. He's now Aradama.
It is just, this whole thing is dumb. Infuriatingly dumb.
Aradam. Oh god. Oh, Jesus Christ. Follow me, Madara. Your soul is mine because I saved you. All I need is for you to accept and become my minion. Okay, I'll become your minion. Elsewhere in Bleachland!
Poor Covert couldn't take it anymore.
Oh, is Covert gone?
He out. Not that I blame him.
Yeah. Oh, Grimjaw is here. Blah, blah, blah. He gives the same speech to Grimjaw that he gave to Madara. Blah, blah, blah. He shows back up with those two. Friends, family, lend me your ear. Well, you three are unaware of what's going on here, but she isn't. Yeah, Daddy, the cute voice answered happily. Madara didn't react. Grimjaw squinted. That's fucking weird, he commented. Anyway, back on me. He pulled out his sleeve, jewelry, blah blah blah, Eldritch jewelry, blah blah blah, edgy Eldritch jewelry, blah blah blah. They're foci for Eldritch magic. Blah blah blah.
Oh god.
Blah blah blah. Your gods don't exist. There's actually a god that exists beyond the gods. Blah blah blah. Edgy philosophy. Blah 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 blah. Edgy speech philosophy. Edgy speech philosophy continues. He summons Cthulhu. Oh my god, Cthulhu's real. Blah 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 blah. Edgy edgy edgy. Blah 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 blah. Eldritch. Blah blah blah. Ripping off of what the fuck's that?
I don't know.
No, what? No, what's Cthulhu from? What's that guy's name?
Oh, I know his name. Come on.
I know his name as well. I'm just fucking sitting here like. Choo choo! All aboard the cringe train. Next stop, over that fucking cliff. Because I can't take this anymore, and I'm killing us all out of mercy.
Ah, what is his fucking name? God, this is gonna.
Lovecraft!
Yes.
Okay, yeah, so anyway, blatantly ripping off of Lovecraft poorly. I name you Team Edge, but we didn't have a name that match. Anyway, moving on, I'm renaming you all so we can match Edge Team Edge. Anyway, blah 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 blah. More Lovecraft ripping offingums. White Fang, I like that name, Grimjaw commented with a fanged grin. Blah blah blah, who do we kill first so you can become the ultimate leader of the White Fang? Blah blah blah, okay, let's go kill these people. Yeah, let's go kill people. Oh, okay, so the author proceeds to break down all the shit he added. So, the reason why I said shitty ripoff of Lovecraft is because he was actually ripping off of Black Ops Zombies. You heard that right. This isn't Lovecraft, guys. No, this is Black Ops Zombies craft. I believe Atin has gone to kill himself.
No, I just don't have anything to say.
Fair enough, fair enough. Alright, and parallels with Orochimaru and Hazama, blah blah blah, ultimate being, blah blah blah. Some people might want to know why I did this team. Blah blah blah, godlike beings. Blah 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 blah. Though I will be referencing a lot of other fanfiction stories, and Reapers, and just Jesus Christ, dude. Is this like an actually continuing story that hasn't crashed and burned? No,
That's
it's not.
perhaps even more upsetting.
He released 6 chapters. He released 60k words in one day. I hope this story just doesn't exist anymore. Honestly. Does the train go any faster? The cliff edge isn't close enough. Well, the good news here is that here at Fanfiction Contempt Theater 9001, we do not read past the first chapter unless we genuinely enjoyed reading it. Whether it was just so fucking awful that we were laughing our asses off at it, or what. But yeah, no, don't worry, we will never see this story again because this was actually painful for me to sit here and read. So let's pull up our next selection, which won't be a Harry Potter fic. Instead, how about we all kill ourselves with a Fate Stay High School D times D fic?
Oh, this is going to be incredibly stupid.
And when I say kill ourselves, I want to clarify, I mean kill our souls and any hope we had for humanity. Just want to clarify. So, as always, you can find the fics we read here in the Discord that can be found in the panels down below. And as a reminder to everyone new here, do not contact any of the authors we feature in these stories, because that would be harassment, and harassment is bad according to Twitch. And so, because Twitch says so, and we're on Twitch, you have to follow Twitch's rules. Anyway, so this is a winning hand. When life gives you a bad hand and you bust, you have to leave the table for good. But sometimes, death gives you another chance to get back and draw a winning hand, which is strangely capitalized for some reason. Thrust into a new world with the power and spirits of those who carved their name into legend, can our player win it all? Which is also capitalized. Or will not even a new hand save him from losing it all again? Self-insert original character. This is my first fan fiction.
Anyway, that was me screaming into the void. Carry on.
I actually enjoy most of those things separately, but then to create this monstrosity. Yeah, I mean, I do enjoy Bleach fanfiction. I do enjoy Naruto fanfiction. I enjoy Ruby and Harry Potter fanfiction. Fucking hell, I enjoy crossovers of those with each other. What I don't enjoy is that abomination. That was bad. So, let us continue on this pain train that we are riding together for the next 30 minutes.
Well, 27. Do you really want to make this go on any longer than you have to?
I mean, I'll go on as long as the people are here to listen.
Anyway.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy, you what?
That was questionable at the best.
Fair enough. Well played. One day I went out and gave it my best shot. I don't like talking about it. But now I'm older and wiser, and I would like to think of myself as a better writer. Well, sir, we will be a judge of that. Here at the fucking peanut gallery called the internet. This story...
Listen, we are Statler and Waldorf. That is the entire show, people.
Yes, this is true. Can't say that joke out loud. Okay, let's keep going. This is a crossover of...
You know what? No, I don't even want to... Just tell me in a message what that joke was.
If I remember, I'll tell you.
Good.
Alright, so this is Fate Grand Order times D times D, an original concept.
Oh God, not Fate Grand Order.
Fate Grand Order! Get your butts ready, boys, because this is going to be a bumpy one.
Like, the Fate series has its ups and downs. Grand Order is definitely a down.
I once heard a saying, only the young die good. That's false. The young die bad as well. Also, that's improper grammar. To whoever said that, I'm going to have to disagree. I don't think anything about dying from a knife wound to the chest, as I feel my blood and guts leak onto the ground and vomit as the fear of death overcame me, and it can be classified as good. Well, I mean, if we're talking philosophically here, I believe the term "the young die good" is that they haven't made enough mistakes in their lives to be considered by others as
Well,
evil or
A,
bad.
it's only first of all, it's only the good die young,
Yeah.
not only the young die good. I don't know.
So
What
not
that, like,
only, author, are you butchering the saying. I mean, maybe that's on purpose because the character's supposed to be dying.
maybe, but
But I don't know. I don't know too many people who sit there and monologue in their brains as they're bleeding out and choking blood.
yeah, generally speaking, based on what humanity has learned of people that are dying, there tends to be a lot of panicking and screaming and shitting and screaming for mom or dad
Yeah, more
or
or less.
grandma or whoever was actually nice to you when you were a kid.
I always thought it would be brighter.
Yeah. Anyway.
That wasn't half bad. You're right. That was all bad.
And there we go. Statler and Waldorf. Wait, Sneaky, you know what? Can you actually do a decent Statler or a decent Waldorf? 'Cause
Dude,
can
I
use okay
haven't
versions of
heard
them.
their accents in forever. I would actually have to sit down and listen to some of their voice lines to, like, actually be able to replicate it.
Fair enough.
Here in the white void of nothingness, I have one thing to say to that. Death fucking sucks, I grumbled into the void. I take offense to that remark. A monotone voice remarks unexpectedly. Jesus fucking Christ. Can you adverb any harder, author?
Oh god. Oh god, I know what they're doing with this. They're
Oh.
trying to be Terry Pratchett.
Isn't that the guy who wrote
Discworld, yeah.
Disc? Okay, yeah.
And in the Discworld, he had death.
Death, yeah, it was the character, yeah. Which is actually, I believe, the origin of modern death in fantasy.
No, kind of.
In
The
terms
death
of,
that
like,
he had,
yeah.
the death that he had was actually kind of unique for the character of Death at the time. He was very, he had a very dry sarcasm to him.
Yeah.
And that's best shown off in the story The Hogfather when he takes over for Discworld's version of Santa.
That sounds
It-
like something.
it's actually pretty entertaining. But there's a point where he gives a little girl a sword, and they're like, "You can't give her a sword," and he's like, "Why not?" And they're like, "Because it's dangerous." And then he said, and it's something along the lines of, "It's like, then it will be a very good lesson," or something like that.
This thing is something that is making every part of my body begin to feel pain and sickness, and even worse when I was dying, like my mind and soul were crawling into myself to the sheer wrong that it was. It didn't have a shape, it didn't have anything, it simply was. Oh, pardon me. Is so rare I speak to client I forget formally dress. Me hope me don't hurt too much.
Oh, okay, yeah, Sneaky. Like I said, I butchered it. Here is the full quote from him. "You can't give her that," she screamed. "It's not safe." "It's a sword," said the Hogfather. "They're not meant to be safe." "She's a child," shouted Crumley. "It's educational. What if she cuts herself? Then it will be an important lesson."
I don't see how this shit's even remotely to Pratchett's death. Well, you see, Zexels, when unintelligent people read something and then go, "That's a pretty good idea," and then they try and replicate it, they more often than not replicate it very poorly. However, when they go back and read what they replicated, they'll go, "Wow, I did such a good job at copying that." It's really quite sad.
But yeah, as far as it being practiced, it's dry, it's monotone. There's supposed to be a dry humor to this character. And what with him showing up, talking to people, referring to them as, like, I'm in a meeting and you are my client. Like, this kind of, like, straightforwardness and treating it as a job. Like, it's all just a really bad, shitty parody.
Personification of death has been a trope in fan fiction since forever. It's not even necessarily the author Red Pratchett. You're right. It's like a meme. You know, it's like a really popular meme that everyone keeps passing around, and people go, "Wow, that's funny!" So they copy the meme down, and every single time you copy that picture down, it gets a little bit grainier and grainier and grainier. Back in the old days, at least. And eventually, someone posts the meme, and it's super fucking grainy. And that's the only one they've ever seen, though, of that. So they're like, "Oh, this is nailed it, perfect." And then someone comes along who saw the original, and it's like, "Wow, that's fucking awful."
Got any more of them pixels?
Yeah. So I mean, you know, it's not necessarily the author read Pratchett. What is likely to have happened is that the author read someone who wrote a story of someone who wrote a story of someone who wrote a story of someone who read Pratchett. Someone posted me that's fucking great. Fuck you, Zex. I'm in a meeting and you are my client, blah blah. Blah, now young man, you're dead, and blah blah blah. Think of this as an opportunity, blah blah blah. Literally paragraphs of dialogue, blah blah blah. I'm not really interested. Holy shit, more paragraphs of dialogue. Now, blah, 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 blah. Now he begins to take a dramatic pause. In what movie do I play chess with the knight for his life? Seventh Seal. That was a quick response. Are you sure you want that to be your answer? I know that movie. I saw in The Last Action Hero. You're basing your eternal afterlife on The Last Action Hero. I'm currently dead and somehow talking with the personification of the greatest fear of all sentient beings about old movie references. Is placing my faith in Arnold any less crazy? Boy, that dry wit certainly left me thirsty.
I'm just dead inside. Sad.
Alright, Des. Yeah, peace out, mate. Congratulations, you've answered the question correctly. You get to live again. Unfortunately, I can't put you back into your old
That's
body.
it? Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
You lazy dirtbag. God.
Hey, did you get this old movie reference? Ha ha! You're dead now because you didn't. What? Is this fucking Beetlejuice?
I have not. Oh, oh boy. Look, I understand not being able to move your plot along. I understand difficulty trying to get where you want to go. But if you have that much difficulty that you come up with this kind of lame ass cop out.
I mean, honestly, it comes back to what I said on Tuesday.
Over.
Yeah, it comes back to what I said on Tuesday. If you had just not done any of this, we would have accepted it. If you were just hand-waved it and you're like, you died 1 minute and now you're alive here with a note taped to your forehead saying, good luck. Actually, that actually sounds like a really good start to an anime. I'll keep that in mind. With a note taped to your forehead saying good luck, I would have been like, okay, this is interesting.
I was going to say, you know what? That's a great start. That's intriguing. There's some mystery there. Now, even if that mystery is put in there for the purposes of hand-waving him, you might be able to do something with that. Or you might never do something with it. Either way, it's a great hook.
But instead you're like, alright, let's have this really shit scene with death in which he asks movie references, and that's how I get resurrected. That is literally, quite possibly, one of the dumbest things I have ever borne witness to. I've borne witness to a lot of stupid things. I fucking look in the mirror every morning. Anyway, that bit of self-depreciating humor out of the way. Let's keep going.
Deprecating, not depreciating. Depreciation is an accounting term. And while you may be depreciating rapidly, Sneaky, that is not what this is about. Honestly, if I had to depreciate the value of Sneaky Devil, I would absolutely go for a 7-year depreciation because, boy, you have managed to just plummet your value, my dude. I would not take a straight line depreciation on you.
That's implying that I ever had value to begin with. 1.5k fix in the author's favorites. He really could do better. Well, no, see, now that is not fair to this author. You know why that's not fair to this author? Because, as this podcast has shown, we've covered, 700-something fics at this point? And we could recommend 4 of them?
Yeah, I was going to say, we can recommend 4 of them, and there were another, 4 that we were like, we don't have a problem with this. It isn't for us. We wouldn't recommend it, but it's perfectly fine, and go ahead and check it out.
Yeah. Well, it's almost it's a little bit less than a fucking 1% of the fics we cover. There's some quite decent stuff. Okay, well, yeah, if there's some good stuff in his favorites, he probably could have. Yeah, for a lot of people, though, it doesn't translate for them. It just doesn't translate for them.
I also personally think people are, way too free with... the only stories I favorited are stories where I was genuinely like, I don't want to put these down. Coincidentally, they also were stories that I followed. Obviously. But, I was like, wow, I really can't wait to get to the end of this.
I mean, I have 400 more follows than I have favorites in terms of stories. When I favorite a story, I'm like, wow, this was either a really good take on a certain idea, or I really enjoyed this story, or I would recommend this to other people. Or all 3. The follow is just that, a follow. I want to read more of it. But there is definitely, people are quite frivolous with their favorites, I would say. I have about 300 more than I should on the story I currently released. I honestly don't think it's that good. Missing dialogue quotes, I guess? Oh no, we're not missing dialogue quotes. It's just more walls of text. Walls of text, walls of text, walls of text. And we're over. Okay, good. Glad we read that story. Alright, since we only got so much time left, let's get a just fucking dumb story going here. Ruby Undertale, Ruby Undertale, Ruby Undertale, Ruby Undertale, Sailor Moon Mass Effect.
Oh, let's do that. Because I assume you're pulling from the just dumb section, right?
Yes.
Alright.
Shepherd, Eldritch Slayer. Another low-quality Sailor Moon Mass Effect crossover. Of course.
Oh boy, the author's saying it's low quality to start with. Ooh boy.
Another low-quality Sailor Moon Mass Effect crossover. Warning. This story contains a lot of out-of-character moments, lots of original characters, and it's a crossover with Cthulhu Tech. Sorry. This story was last updated August 18th, 2017, published June 22nd, 2017.
Why are we looking at this then?
At 10 chapters and 13,000 words, it should be considered completed. That's why. Howdy, y'all! Welcome to Shepherd the Eldritch Slayer. It's a loose sequel to another fanfic called Onto 1,000 Planets, Onto 1,000 Stars. Special thanks to ASI Sard and Nobody Smurf for all their constructive criticism on the last story I wrote. I'm a new author, so I really appreciated that. I really appreciate constructive criticism as I hate letting down readers. Sorry. Also, Elephant Pride Parade came up with a lot of the ideas in this story. Okay, that is Fanfiction Writing Sin 1, letting your reader base dictate what you write. Because if you're not invested in it and you're not being paid money for it, it's probably going to come out like shit or end early.
If you see world building detail that's cool or interesting, it's probably stolen, I mean borrowed from her work. Oh boy.
Oh, and this
How do we
fanfiction
even
is
begin to
based
break
on
down the
Cthulhu
problems
Tech.
in that sentence, Sneaky?
Well, I mean, we can always do that by not. And just moving on. Because this is already a train wreck of a story that even the author themselves has decided to fully accept being a train wreck.
Okay, but Chrysanthem, there are lots of people who apologize when they do something wrong. You know who keeps constantly apologizing? Alcoholics for being drunk again. People who abuse their significant others for abusing their significant other. Guess what that doesn't make okay? Them doing it over and over again. It's still trash, and it's still bad. Obviously not to compare the two. They are not on the same level. But just because you say you're sorry, don't make it okay.
Or are they?
Shut up and read.
This fanfic is based off Cthulhu Tech, Sailor Moon, and the original Mass Effect trilogy. I'm a bit new to all of them, so if I get something wrong, please tell me. Okay, look. I have respect for people that are writers, and they are such high quality writers that they can start reading a story, already get ideas for writing a story based off that. And it's very rare. I've only met very few people that can legitimately get started into a story and make good fan fiction based off of that. Now, the key difference there is that it's, I almost want to say genetic at that point. There is a superior race of master writers. Most people are not in that section. I will say, I'm certainly not. You're not. Max isn't. There's a lot of people that aren't in that section. A lot of people have to put the time and effort. They have to research the shit they're writing about. There is a lot of things those people have to do to even hope to have the same quality of work that some of the naturally gifted writers do. I'm not saying naturally gifted writers don't put the work in. All I'm saying is that they are better at it. Would your experiences reading fanfiction conclude that same?
I personally haven't ever even met like people who are like they can start reading something and then get great ideas. But I don't talk to a lot of these authors, so I don't know. But yeah, I would like. I don't start reading something, and even if I dig it, like I really dig it and I'm into it, my first thought is not, boy, I could write some real interesting fan fiction with this. my thought is, boy, this is really good. I want to see if the author's got anything else.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, yes, Chrysanthemum says the people who can do that have read a lot more than the specific thing they're currently reading about. Yeah. Very trope aware. Yeah, no, exactly. That's a fair point, and I'm somewhat there in terms of being trope aware, not in terms of writing capabilities. My problem though with these sorts of people that this author is admitting to being is that they don't give it time. Because I've seen quite a numerous amount of stories that end up dying, or never being finished, or etc., because the author is continuously reading the canon material, and oh whoopsie daisy, that theory that they wrote into their fan fiction completely got blown out of the water by whatever happened in canon, and now the author is demoralized and has stopped writing that story. Turns out you should read the source material before you start writing modifications for it. Sometimes those things you are modifying have already been answered better than you can. Especially if you're writing fan fiction. Typically, the canon material is typically better than whatever you can produce. Which is saying something when you're talking about Twilight. Or Harry Potter. Or Mass Effect, really. Mass Effect was a fairly generic sci-fi shooter. Am I wrong there?
What was that about Mass Effect being generic?
Mass Effect's a fairly generic sci-fi shooter.
I mean, yeah, the thing that always made Mass Effect, the thing that was important, that made Mass Effect 1 stand out and was important, was it was a generic premise and had extremely well-written characters. That's what BioWare has, at least for the past, 20 years? Well, not so much recently.
Yeah,
but
that's what they used to have.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That was, at the time, that was the strong point of BioWare. And for a long time, they did a great job with it. It didn't matter if it was Dragon Age or Mass Effect or Coder. They wrote great, interesting characters, except for Karth. Karth is the fucking worst. And anyone who likes Karth is wrong.
Blah blah blah. I should also admit that the name Manisa is from Call of Duty Black Ops Zombies. It's the name of the M14 rifle after you throw it into the pack-a-punch machine. My cousins played it on their Xbox whenever I visit them, and I thought the name was pretty.
I mean, there are worse reasons to take a name, but, like, we don't need to be told that.
Yeah. It's just the setup of a bad story. Hey, guys! I barely know Cthulhu Tech. Get the fuck out then. Cthulhu Tech is a complicated mess of shit. If you're like, I just started reading Cthulhu Tech and I think this is really awesome, it's like, Jesus Christ, we'll finish the fucking book then. It's some very complicated shit. But, you know, it's just...
Like, that's the equivalent of someone going and saying,
hey guys,
wow, I looked at a
Shadowrun.
I looked at a Shadowrun book once, and Shadowrun seemed pretty cool, so I decided to write fan fiction of it. Listen,
not even
I
that.
say this to anyone.
Not even that.
Shadowrun is not something you should lightly delve into.
Not even that, dude. No, not even that. That's like, I looked at a Shadowrun book a couple times, and like I read like the first 20 pages. So now I'm gonna write a Shadowrun Lord of the Rings crossover. Also, I've only watched the first movie of Lord of the Rings.
All of these are terrible. All of these are terrible. Anyone who... No, do not combine Lord of the Rings and Shadowrun. That's dumb.
Yeah, it's just... Anyway, the purpose of Just Fucking Dumb isn't actually to read it. It's actually just there to go like, this is dumb. Anyway, so, poor grammar. We all expected that. Poor plot setup. We all expected that. Blah blah blah. And poor integration. We all expected that. Blah 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 blah. Okay, so yeah, nothing we didn't expect from this story. Generally super short and poor quality. Basically, like I said, the purpose of just fucking dumb is to just point out this is just fucking dumb. Don't do this. This is
It's
a poor
dumb.
idea.
Here's why.
Stop. You need some help. Alright, so lads, as to those who are unaware, this is the closing statements of the Fanfiction Contempt Theater. To those who want to either watch more of this live, you can always find us from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. on Tuesdays and Fridays on Eastern Standard Time or GMT -5. In other news, you can also, or is it GMT -4 now because of daylight savings? Eastern Standard Time with daylight savings activated. So figure that out for your area. If you want to catch us recorded, because we do in fact archive everything we do, you can find us on the YouTube, which can be found in the panels down below, or you can check out the archived copies that Twitch saves, which are only up for 2 weeks. We have about 1.5 years of content now archived on our YouTube page, so you can always head over there and check it out. I do give a heads up.
You regret it.
Do give you a heads up. The earlier content was a lot more cringy and rough in terms of our presentation, as we weren't quite sure what we were doing yet. Yeah. Anyway, thank you all for joining us today. Honestly, it wasn't as bad as it normally gets. I didn't get as mad as I normally get, or drunk for that matter, as I normally get.
Don't worry, that's because I took some of the anger this week.
Yeah, that's true. And see you all Tuesday. So, this is Sneaky Devil signing off. We'll see you later. And remember, guys, there's always more, and it always gets worse.